Now, Citrini's example takes that and takes it a step further and notes that, maybe there's much more widespread displacement. And what happens to all these white-collar workers? Well, they all tumble into blue-collar jobs like driving Uber until we get autonomous driving, of course, compressing wages for blue-collar workers. And in a sense, we get into this huge kind of a deflationary spiral. And in that scenario, of course, in my personal view, bonds would be the ultimate AI trade. Now, a counterpoint to that, of course, would be looking past over the past 100 years, 200 years, we've always had technological advancement, right? And what we've seen after every advancement from electricity, steam engines, internet, and so forth is that, yes, there is some friction in the employment market, but at the end of the day, there's no mass spread unemployment, right? People find new jobs, people become, YouTubers or something like that. And at the end of the day, we are all wealthier. So that is, of course, a very obvious historical observation. Now, one thing I'll note, though, is that I think that's not fully true. So one is that over the past few decades, we actually do see mass unemployment, but it's just not measured. And let me explain. So one of the things that we saw partially through globalization and partially through increased automation in manufacturing was that the U.S. has much fewer manufacturing jobs. Now, that doesn't necessarily show up in the higher unemployment rate, because what happened actually is that hundreds, thousands, millions of people basically dropped out of the labor force. So they're not counted in the unemployment rate. So if you look at the labor force participation, prime age, among cohorts, you can see that people without a college degree, people who usually in the past would have worked in, say, blue-collar manufacturing jobs, their labor force participation rate dropped precipitously as automation and globalization were going on and just has not recovered. So a portion of the population does get left behind permanently. They don't show up in the unemployment rate because they drop out of the labor force.